This Rob on the Road is sponsored by the Sacramento Metropolitan Arts Commission. Coming up, it's Rob on the Road, Art Across the Spectrum, exploring a unique blend of Northern California expressions in art.
Public art is so accessible for everyone. Anyone can enjoy it.
Watch Sacramento's newest mural come to life. Plus,
each brushstrokes that carried really multiple colors.
See international artist Jin Wang create a masterpiece right in front of your eyes. And later, art that heals the soul.
Well, I'm so glad you're okay.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
Rob on the Road, Art Across the Spectrum starts now.
It's Rob on the Road, discovering the stories that capture the unique spirit of Northern California. Here's KVIE's Rob Stewart.
Hi there, and welcome to Rob on the Road, Art Across the Spectrum. I'm your host, Rob Stewart, and this time we wanted to bring you some stories of some Northern California treasured artists. You know, art can really help express the soul in such a unique way and can connect with people so richly. We began with one of Northern California's international icons. Northern California is rich with cultural diversity and talent, and one of this area's brightest gems is hard at work behind me right now. Jin Wang, contemporary artist. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Rob.
Thank you for having us at your Carmichael home here. You're painting these beautiful oak trees here.
It's my pleasure.
It's amazing to see how quickly you work. I'm in awe of how fast this is.
I consider myself like a 100-meter dancer rather than the marathon runner. But after the initial painting cover up the canvas, I would very carefully to fix up all the details.
Touch-ups.
The touch-ups.
Yes.
Which the viewer may not see the correction that I had made so that it would have harmony to the whole canvases.
Where do you find your inspiration? Today you're painting these trees, but you also love the American River.
Absolutely, that I think I painted the American River no less than hundreds of times.
It's just beautiful, and your skies are so pretty.
This from the American River sky. I carried on all the different paintings, you know, even though this is San Diego.
Do you prefer painting nature?
For me, I think any visual elements that is interesting to me. The nature, if you consider the setup of still life, and or the wonder of a human face, and to me all very inspirational.
Now, you came to the States in 1986 from China. Describe the type of painting that you do. It is contemporary, but how would you describe it to someone?
I think a more expressionistic way of handling the painting surface, so, which means that you are not a mimic the nature, but to express in your own individual way of what nature in your artistic sense rather than a pictorial sense. Most artists that working are pre-mixed color on palettes, but what I did for my painting is most of the color were mixed right on the canvas while I was working on the canvas. So which has the advantage of each color, each brushstrokes that carried really multiple colors.
So I see that your paint is very thick. How long does it take for these to dry?
It takes about a half a year to completely dry.
A half a year?
Right, but the surface right in a couple of weeks,
okay.
And there's no air coming into it because the back of the canvas is sealed, and so the paint actually is not dried; it just set.
You must go through so much paint.
Absolutely, and I use up maybe 600 tubes, 200 cc a year. When they deliver it, and they come with a lifter and with palette.
A palette?
Absolutely. Maybe a palette paint and 2 palette canvases. Each brushstroke is alive. And when people once said like Jin's painting is never completed, it's always give you a sense of liveliness, and it's like he's still working on it.
Do you ever get sad to see your paintings go?
Not quite, because I'm an artist that I have to live on. And secondly, that I always fantasize that the unfinished painting or the next painting will be a better one. Northern California have such a rich season changing that visually it stimulates artists to make great paintings. And that, for my opinion, explained it why Northern California have very distinguished paintings. And even though I bring my painting to New York, to Memphis or Atlanta, that I still believe the quality in Northern California is superb.
How does your art inspire you?
Actually, it was very much later on when the painting is completed and I able to enjoy them. But while I was working on a painting, very rarely that I have satisfaction of it.
Really?
Because I always frustrated with the better mind than what it showed on the canvas, what I did. And so very often that when I was looking back at the painting a few days later, I said, wow, it was not that bad. Why I was so upset with myself while I was working on it.
Well, whatever you're doing right, and we certainly do enjoy your paintings, and we love watching you at work, so I'd love to watch you do some more painting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tim Long, here at your Carmichael home and studio. Come go with me to 24th and Broadway in Sacramento to see this huge mural. And we're here with Sacramento artist Alex Cabron. Alex, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
Thanks for meeting us out here in front of your beautiful creation. Tell me about this mural.
It all started with a contest that was put on by Valley Vision, the nonprofit organization that lives in this building here.
Valley Vision is really about trying to bring people together and trying to do it in sort of a fun, creative way, but also doing it in a really poignant way, in a way that really sticks with you. And so the idea of having a mural art contest just felt right. It felt like the right thing to do.
And your design is Ishi. Tell me about it.
Ishi was a so-called like the last savage alive back in 1911 when they found him. He was supposedly the last of his tribe, the Yahi. The whole theme of the contest was about the Sacramento Valley and its diverse elements, past, future, present. And I picked the past. And when I look at the past, the most important event is the California Gold Rush. Once I had his face up and I got all this response from the community, all different backgrounds, and everyone, most of them didn't even have any connection or association with art. That's why public art is so accessible for everyone. Anyone can enjoy it. It humbles me too, because then I realize the full extent of my work, that I actually can touch someone with a piece of art. That's what I love the most about it, is like the interaction with the people.
Well, I'm sure, Alex, that a lot of people are going to fall in love with your work as well. Alex, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks.
Alex Cabron, Sacramento artist here at 24th and Broadway. Now on to art that has a specific message. I want you to meet a woman who found her spirit with a Caribbean connection, plus the moving story of art that helps people heal. And we're celebrating the world of art today at the Kumba Collective Art Gallery in Sacramento with Sacramento artist Adele James. Good to see you, Adele.
Thank you for coming to Kumba.
It's a beautiful place here. What I love about your work is that you've teamed up with an artist in Trinidad and you capture his art and you bring it to America and give it a whole new life. Tell me about that.
Well, I was inspired by the work of a folk artist in Trinidad and Tobago, and I had bought his work, but what that's evolved into really is this idea of Caribbean art promotion as a way to really promote and bring awareness to folk art of the Caribbean, and it's a collaborative effort. So what I do is I photograph the work, but also photograph different images that I layer to create these pieces, and then when the items are sold, share the profits with the artist, but it also helps to create a new form of the work. So I create sheet glaze, I put the work on different items from functional art baskets, really thinking about work that is affordable, that's functional, that's also beautiful. And at the same time, it shares the culture and the history of the Caribbean.
Interesting.
And to think about how can these artists be supported in continuing to do what they do and also creating other forms that can extend the value of the work.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
You know, I think that for me, when I look at the pieces, they tell a story. And the story of a lot of the pieces shares the history of the region.
And it's giving the artist in Trinidad new life here in America.
It's a collaborative effort, and you know, for me, that's how I like to work.
You're a new artist. You've been doing this about a year, correct?
Yes.
What does it mean to you to have a piece in the Crocker within 1 year?
It's overwhelming. This whole journey has been overwhelming. So from coming to Kumba and having them say, we want you to show your work here, to doing the second Saturdays, and then the Crocker. You know, I have to believe that it's not about me, but that, you know, this is some of the role that I am meant to play in helping to bring attention to this work. And I get excited about doing it as well.
I can tell, and it's beautiful work. It is beautiful art, Adele, and we thank you for sharing the story with us today. Adele James here in Sacramento at the Kumba Collective Art Gallery. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Well, you never know what you're going to find when you open up someone's garage, right? Well, here at the Rockland studio of artist Gail Rappaport Weiland, you find beautiful art with a message of healing and hope. And we're here with well-known artist Gail. Good to see you, Gail.
Good
Thanks for
to see you, Rob. I'm so glad you're here at my studio.
It's beautiful. And behind us is your fellow artist and friend, Jenny Crepes, at work, and a beautiful symbol of hope.
Absolutely. It is called Soul Survivor, Symbol of Hope, Rob.
And it's about raising awareness for breast cancer. Tell me about that.
Well, absolutely, Rob. What happened is I got an email, and the email said it was for an art in public places to do a wonderful 6-foot ribbon. And I sat and thought, I don't want to do that by myself. And I actually used my intuition for things, and I said, and I thought, Jenny Crepes. She's a student of mine. She's an amazing Sacramento graphic artist, and she also is a breast cancer survivor. So why would I do this alone?
So Jenny, your artwork is called Soul Survivor, Symbol of Hope. What does that mean to you?
Well, having been through breast cancer just recently, it really is a journey that is so scary and yet amazing. You know, just as in breast cancer, art takes courage and art takes passion. And I think that that's what we put into this piece is we have courage, we have to put it out there, we have laughter doing it, and the passion to not only do our art, but the passion to get out there into the community and raise awareness for breast cancer, because it touches everybody. I have many friends on this piece that most are survivors, however there are some that lost their battle.
You know, this is part of art in public places, but it's a very personal piece of artwork for you.
It really is. It's, first of all, the opportunity to work with Gail, and our bond has become so much stronger, and our friendship is gone to just so many more levels. But it just incorporates so many personal stories. Every piece that we collaged on here was a story.
You being a breast cancer survivor, I bet you collaged through a lot of tears.
Absolutely. I mean, we did, but that's why we called it a symbol of hope. We are survivors, and we do survive, and there is hope out there. And that's, you know, my journey is thankfully over at this point, but there's so many stories that go so much deeper and are, you know, much harder journeys than what I have. And those, you just reach out to everybody.
Well,
you
I'm
know?
so glad you're okay.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you.
The entire piece of artwork is filled with beautiful personal stories. You see words like journey and fate, survivor, 2007, because this isn't just about people who lost their battle. It's about people who are living and won the battle.
Absolutely. Both Ginny and I were honored because not only are we painting, this isn't about us. This is so much bigger than us, Rob. I mean, I love to paint, you know that. It's my full-time profession, but this is about people surviving. It is about awareness, support, bringing to the forefront how important it is for people to get mammograms.
Well, Gail, thank you so much for having us here.
It's been a pleasure,
At your
Rob.
studio in Rockland with Ginny as well, showing the sole survivor, symbol of hope. Coming up on Rob on the Road, Art Across the Spectrum, an update on a Sacramento artist whose celebrity status is rising around the world. More on performance painter David Garibaldi ahead. Plus, hear how this star of the stage pens sounds from his soul. We're taking you downtown Sacramento with a question. When you think about modeling, what do you think about? Well, when it comes to international cover girl L'Oreal Andrea, she hopes you think of her. L'Oreal, good to see you.
Hi, great to see you.
Thanks for meeting us here on your photo shoot.
Of course.
And congratulations on your recent international covers.
Yes, thank you so much.
Including Gothic Beauty. Tell me about that.
Well, it was a great opportunity, and my photographer had been talking to some people, and they decided they wanted to use our picture for the front cover. And so it's just been a wonderful experience. I've been able to meet so many people.
So what does alternative modeling mean? Because that's what you call it.
Yeah. Alternative, I would say, it's just more of like an edgy type of modeling, because, you know, most models are not all like 5'8" or 6 foot, you know, and I'm shorter, and there's a lot of shorter models that have more crazy hair and tattoos and piercings and that sort of thing, which is kind of be more like original. And so there's a lot of jobs still out there and a lot more opportunities for a lot more like clothing companies and that kind of thing.
What is your message when it comes to sharing the message of alternative modeling and to sharing the message of L'Oreal Andrea?
Well, basically, I just think that it's really important for people to just be who they want to be and just be able to express themselves freely and do what they want. And maybe that is taking a little bit of a risk in life. I didn't always just grow up thinking, you know, I'm going to be a model or I want to be a designer. I kind of branched out and just kind of, you know, took, you know, hold of it and just kind of took it from there. And it's been a great opportunity ever since. And I just think people should be able to branch out and do what they want in life.
Do you think part of your message is about breaking stereotypes?
Yes, I think so. I think a lot of us, you know, we're so judgmental or, you know, so used to just one simple way of doing things that it's good to just kind of branch out and do different things and not be so afraid of, you know, being who we are maybe on the inside or, you know, trying to cover up being maybe who we really are.
Cool.
Yeah.
What did you think the first time you saw your face on a national magazine cover?
I was so excited. It was just the most amazing feeling to be able to be like, oh, all this work that I put into this, I'm finally made it.
What are you thinking about when you're modeling, and where are you coming up with those poses?
You know, I'm just kind of you know, relaxing and just kind of thinking about, you know, like movement kind of more. And I study a lot of fashion magazines. I really like high fashion poses and that sort of thing.
What would you say to someone who may be watching who has a dream to want to step out and do something like you've done?
You know, I would say you just need to go out there and just do it. Just go out there and do it. And also, you have to have a lot of confidence. Those are the key things that, you know, you got to go forth with that and have those things to work hard at, you know, and you'll get there.
Inspirational
Yes,
words. Well,
yes.
L'Oreal Andrea, good to see you in
Thank you
Sacramento
so
today
much.
here
It's
on
been
your
wonderful.
photo shoot with your photographer,
Thank you.
Jesse. He's got his camera ready. So
Yeah,
I'll
he's
step out.
ready.
Take care. We're taking you to the Crest Theater downtown Sacramento to meet up-and-coming recording artist Nam Classic right here. Good to see you, Nam. Thanks for coming.
Rob? Thank you for having me.
So you rocked the stage here the other night. I got to see it. Great job.
Thank you, thank you. It was exciting. I'm glad you guys came out. I can't wait to be on stage again.
And you left, I found this very interesting, the service for the stage. Talk to me about that.
Yes, I did. Actually, yeah, I did. So I was in the military. I was a sergeant. I was actually going to be promoted to the next rank. I was going to Ranger School. And then, I don't know, man, like 3 months, like when I was supposed to re-enlist, something hit me. I just wanted to do music again.
So, Nam, what does music mean to you? Because one of the things that really impressed me about your story, and one of the reasons why I wanted to do this story on you, is because there's a message behind your music.
Yeah, yeah.
Talk to me about that.
My music, for one, is just, it's the only way I know how to express myself. When my brother passed away from cancer, I kind of became an introvert, and I didn't really talk about my emotions except for on the pen and pad, paper, or whatnot. And that's just basically what it was for me. It's a way to express myself. Message-wise, I mean, every song has a different, you know, message.
And a different feel.
And a different feel, exactly. We cover multi-genres. We do from hip-hop to rock to a little bit of funk, a little bit of salsa, reggaeton. But every song just has a message. The album is called The Value Study of the Young and Reckless. But the overall message is basically, you know, you can make mistakes, and it's just all about what you do, you know, just taking the negative, turning it into positive, and just moving forward in your life. Now, you were talking about your brother and the huge impact that his death had on your life. Yeah. You wrote a song in honor of your brother. That's right. The song is called Before I Let You Go.
Searching for words to describe an ultimate loss. Ultimately, I'm at a loss for words. So searching for the purpose your death served. Feeling like I got the short end of the bell curve.
And, you know, basically, when my brother passed away, I spent about, well, even now I'm having trouble coping with it. And I think the main part of that was because I never really faced it. I never really mourned. So that's what this song's about. It's about, you know, just letting go of the pain and just focusing on the beauty of his memory, you know, the impact he had on my family, and just, you know, focusing on that as opposed to the pain.
Before I let you go, before I let you go, here's a couple things that you ought to know. I hope it brings closure and unity. It's 21 gun salute. This is unity.
Do you write all the time?
I do write all the time. But I'm not like your average artist. I know some people sit there and they'll write songs in one sitting, maybe verses. I'll sometimes just write 2 or 3 lines as I'm inspired. And once that inspiration is gone, I don't write. I don't write, and I think that's why my music is so expressive and why each line has so much meaning to it, because I just write that one line, that second line, and if I don't have that inspiration, I don't continue to write. So
I was really, we see a lot of artists, but I'm really impressed by your drive. You really are going at this pretty hardcore.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I have to, you know, I mean, I think in every step we have to distinguish my music, and the only way to do that is to be that motivated about it, you know, get one of the biggest venues in Sacramento, you know, just push my album like, you know, there is no tomorrow.
What was that like, being here at the Crest Theater on stage, just right there in front of us?
It was amazing, and honestly, I've been here several times. I came the night before, just looked at the stage, I walked on the stage, and I was in awe. It was surreal. Even when we were rehearsing, it was just all surreal. It didn't register until the day after. I woke up and I was like, I got to play the Crest today. And I was like, oh no, wait. I already did that, and apparently I killed it. So it was awesome, man. And it was just an amazing feeling.
Did you see your name on the billboard out there?
I did. I think I stared at that for about 30 minutes, just like, wow, it was awesome.
And so what's next for you, Nam?
You know, right now we're just going to continue to push the album, and then I want to get on tours. We laughed, we cried, we danced, you know, and I think that just sums it up. So, yeah, anyone who doesn't listen to hip hop primarily could definitely get into this music.
Yeah, I listened to all of your lyrics. I went through every song that you sent me.
Awesome.
And I love the lyrics, and I love your style, and you must be an incredibly creative guy to come up with this stuff.
Yeah, no, I guess so. I mean, like I said, I write off inspiration, and you know, when it comes to me, I just write it out.
Well, you've inspired us, and Nam, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Nam Classic here at the Crest in Sacramento. Now an update on one of our featured artists who is rising to international acclaim. David Garibaldi came to our studio to show us his unique style of performance painting. He calls it a blend of rhythm, color, culture, and energy. Watch how he brings his creations to life. David's career is skyrocketing with a national college tour, canvas creations of Kanye West and Justin Bieber. This one benefiting the Special Olympics. And David even has his own clothing line and has created a successful series of iPhone covers. Congratulations, David Garibaldi. And thank you for joining us on Rob on the Road, Art Across the Spectrum. Send me your ideas for segments and shows. It's simple, rob@kvie.org. I'd love to hear from you. Oh, and thanks to our friends here in Art in Public Places for letting me join them today. We will see you next time right here on Rob on the Road.
To order a DVD copy of this program, call 888-814-3923 or visit kvie.org/viewfinder.